Hey everyone, Matt here from Brain Food Studios. I want to talk to you about my 3 favorite routines for warming up any math lesson. Let's go. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, share it with all of your friends, and let me know what your favorite math routine is in the comments below. Now, before we dive into my 3 favorite routines, I want to talk a little bit about why these sorts of routines are important. One of the things that we're all about here at Brain Food Studios is helping kids be comfortable with being uncomfortable in math class. We want to create an environment where students feel comfortable taking risks, trying new things, being unafraid of failure, which is something that holds a lot of kids back in math. This is where that idea of I'm not a math person often comes from, is because they're not sure what that first step is, or they feel like I can't do the math or calculate these numbers quick enough for me to think that I'm a math person or for me to be able to achieve in math class. So in order to create that sort of environment where kids feel safe, it's important to create structure. Kids, particularly young kids, feel comfortable when there is a certain level of predictability in their day, a certain structure to their routine. So whenever they enter math class, they should have some idea as to what to expect. And that usually involves having a warm-up activity as part of your lesson. Now, having a couple of these up your sleeve helps you create that routine and still keep students kind of on their toes and a bit of variety in the math lesson, so it's not the same old every day. Here are my top 3 favorite routines to warm up in a math class in no particular order. Number 1, number of the day. Number of the day is when we get to kind of highlight a specific number, and it can be a through line through the rest of the entire day, right? Whether we go into science class or into gym class or music, whenever that number shows up, it becomes that opportunity to tie back into our math lesson. So that's what I really like about the number of the day. A couple of things to remember about doing a number of the day. It's more than just kind of putting it on the board and saying, hey, this is the number of the day. Isn't it awesome? There's a couple of things that you might want to do to kind of showcase how awesome it is, or to bring about some authentic learning and conversation. Another thing that I really try to promote in math lessons is mathematical discourse. We want to ask the students, what do we know about this number? Or what's kind of neat about this number? What are things that come in this number? Where can this number be found? Right? And so it's those sorts of things that really encourage students to share their perspective. So instead of me telling what's awesome about this number or what we need to know about this number, students get to tell me. And not only do they feel ownership in the lesson, you get really great insight as to what it is that's going on inside their brains. What do they see? How does their brain work? What interests them? And this is all valuable information when planning your next lesson or something that's coming up next month. Also, of course, you're going to want to show multiple representations of the number. Just putting the number 100 up on the board is often insufficient. Numerals in and of themselves are just abstractions. They have no inherent meanings. 10 frames or tally marks, fingers, dot patterns, whatever it is, we want to represent it in as many different ways as we possibly can. Number 2 is which one is unique. Not which one is different, which one is unique. These can be pretty simple to put together. You just need 4 objects. Here's a picture of one that I took earlier today using guitar picks. Pro tip when you're doing this is try and pick 4 items. 4 is a great number. You can have more, you can have less, but 4 seems to be a really great number for this. But each one should have a definitive, unique characteristic. So, for example, the green one that's here has a picture of a turtle on it. There's no other pick there that has a picture. Some of them have writing, some of them have logos on it, but this is the only one with like an animal on it. The gray one, there's no ink on this one. There's another one there that's very colorful. It's like a rainbow. It's the only one that has multiple colors on the actual body of the pick. And then of course there's this Ernie Ball one, which is a thumb pick, and it has a very distinctive shape and is very different than the other guitar picks. This might be the one that a lot of students go towards and say, that one is the one that's unique, right? Look at the other 3. They're all the same shape. This one is very different. And in that situation, if everyone's saying is like, yeah, that's the one, that's the one that's unique. Ask probing questions that encourage students to make a case for why the other ones may be the unique member of that set. And we just went through each one, right? And gave a justification as to why we would say that is the one that is unique. So suddenly, when we engage with these conversations, and here's the beauty of this, is that sort of tacitly, students start to recognize that my perspective may be different from that student's, even though we got the same answer. We got the same answer for very different reasons. And in math class, that's okay. Number 3 is would you rather. This is how we start a mathematical debate. Would you rather A or would you rather B? So similar to which one is unique, we are going to ask students to make a decision and we're going to ask them to justify that decision. Here's an example. This is one of my favorites. Would you rather 2 loonies or would you rather 8 quarters? 8 25-cent pieces. They're both the same value, right? We have $2 here and we have $2 here. But we're asking students to justify their decisions. And this was a conversation that we had between my two daughters. One said 2 loonies and one said 8 quarters. And the conversation centered around where they would spend that money. So, you know those little coin-operated candy machines? You put the coin in the slot and you turn the handle and something falls out in the bottom. One wanted candy, which takes quarters, right? So you want some jelly beans, put the quarter in, and you turn the thing, and the jelly beans come out. Loonies are useless in that situation. You've got to go find change. And the other one, there's ones where you get this little plastic dome, right? And there's a little toy or trinket inside. The other one wanted those, and those cost $1. So you put the loonie in, you turn the crank, and it pops out. So based on that simple difference, they chose very different options, even though monetarily, mathematically, they are the same thing. But because of the context, their decisions and their perspectives were very different. These types of questions really encourage students to think beyond just the right and wrong answer and think about the thought process. And that the fact that they may take different twists and turns in their thought process, that's not only okay, that's awesome. So these have been my top 3 favorite routines to start a math lesson. We've got number of the day, which one is unique, and would you rather. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, share it with all of your friends, and let me know what your favorite math routine is in the comments below. For Brain Food Studios, I'm Matt, and we'll see you next time.